Welcome to the preview of round 7. It is Anzac round. I hope everyone enjoyed their public holiday today. We have a draw at the MCG, a blowout, and another pretty much blowout last night as well. So 3 games already gone. Some contests feel like they might already be over. Some teams are on the track for a big 400 plus score as well, which is fantastic. And some of us made some wrong decisions. Me, Mick, doesn't matter. But anyway, let's start by looking at this week's fixtures, or let's have a look at preview of this week's games. Alright, so let's start off with Sugar Daddies, who are first on the ladder, versus Gods Olympus, who are 7th ladder. Have a quick look at the pre-match projections. It was 408.6 for Sugar Daddies versus Gods Olympus 373.3. After 3 games played, the projections have dropped by a fair bit and actually made this game a little bit closer, which is exciting. Michael's on 105, Sugar Daddies are on 20. Loophole, no good for Sugar Daddies, where Loophole was fantastic for Michael. Projections after the 3 games is Michael 362, or Gods Olympus 362.8 versus Sugar Daddies 379.8. So still 17-point win for Sugar Daddies predicted. However, that can go in a second. Gods Olympus made a bit of an error playing Hipwood except for Tom Hawkins, who only got 7 points, whereas Hogan was down 59%. So both those full forwards were down 68 and 59%. Hogan only got 20 points. Bolton had a fantastic game as a half forward. He was a loophole player, got 45 as a half forward. And also Whitfield, I think got 20 kicks. Well, Whitfield got 22 kicks as a follower and got 53 points. If only my follower got that. And obviously McInerney didn't play. Petrarca was no good as a loophole, so he's not going to get a game there. Have a quick look. Got Norton against Fremantle as a half forward. Is he going to do it 2 weeks in a row? Interesting. Sarong Utility versus Gordon, good matchup there. Marshall versus Xeri in the ruck, and Walsh, who's come back from injury, on 5 versus Crouch. So both ball magnets, so that should be a pretty high scoring midfield battle. And Sugar's moved Wangani Malera as the follower position, compared to Wilkie as the halfback, and Rao and Yo as the tacklers. If I had a quick look here, players that have played already, no one really could have got a run. Yeah, no one really got a run there. So that's that game. That's that game there. So let's move to the next game then. It's Rangers Anonymous versus Top Guns. Rangers Anonymous have already had a few players play because obviously Richmond played last night. Their pre-match projection was 375.7, whereas Top Guns was 381.6. It's 6th versus 9th, by the way. So Top Guns were projected to win that. They haven't anyone played just yet. And Rangers Anonymous 170.5. They've had a few players play and a few players that are down on their actual current score. Baker was a half forward, got 49%. McGluggage 65.5. They were both down quite a bit there, as well as Lockie Neal only got 36 as a follower, and Boston was down a little bit as well. Utility Hopper was on track to get a big score and then got injured, so that's a bit disappointing for Kenner. As I said, Top Guns have had no one. Any other players to play? Well, over here, Keziah Pickett was a pretty good forward, 25 and 41, half forward, full forward, as was Charlie Cameron, 25 and 37. And no one else really. Well, Canterbury could have been a tackler, I suppose, for Top Guns. But they're pretty much settled. They've got Rolly O'Brien left, Taylor Adams against Hawthorn, and they've also got Robottom as a tackler, and Jeremy Cameron against Carlton. And then over here, Patley against the Hawks. Don't know if Parker's going to play. Either way, Houston's going to let Loophole tomorrow night, so we'll see how he goes. Heating Utility, Wits in the ruck against West Coast, and normally Ruckman against West Coast have a good game. And Noah Anderson against West Coast as well. Duggan, Ryan's been great this year, and William Drew's been pretty good as a tackler. So pretty close game. Top Guns projected to win at this stage, as 40 points down on current projections for Rangers Anonymous. So we'll go to the next game. The next game is a top 5 clash. It's Gators Bitches versus Punters Paddock, 2nd versus 5th. Pre-match projections almost level, 366.0 versus 366.8. However, after 3 games being played, Gators Bitches are down to 324.7, and Punters Paddock are down to 356.9. So Punters Paddock are on track to win that one there. His trash talking must have got to me. Played Fritsch as a full forward, who got 29, slightly down, and Gorn 39 as a ruck, slightly down, but they're pretty good scores still. So he'll be pretty happy with those. And he's been playing Rosie as his interchange or loophole tomorrow. Whereas I had to go. Didn't really get anything good. However, a tackle of 35, which would have been pretty good. Better than Mitchell, who got subbed out. He only got 17. And in hindsight, would have been loved to have played him as a tackler, or except for Zorko. Zorko only got 13 kicks or something. He only got 27, down 40%. Where Harris Andrews got pretty much his average of 50. Whereas for there, so he's gonna play Ben King against West Coast as a half forward, and Dawson against North as a utility. I've got Armady against the Hawks, full forward. Kerno, half forward against Geelong, and Bontempelli as pretty much mainstay. Stuck with one ruck now because Soldo's out for a bit, so Grundy in the ruck. I got Newcomb and Dangerfield in the midfields there. Trelaw, follow Newman halfback, and Atkins as the tackler. He's been playing more backline lately, so hopefully he's been a bit down lately as a tackler. Hopefully that continues for me. And as we can tell, the loophole there is Rosie. Any other options at the moment? Nothing too much has been played. Nothing too much there. So that's that one there. So, Collie, your trash talking's working so far. You've got into me, and looks like you might be on track for a win this one. So let's go to the next game. All right, so the last two games of preview are two teams that are on track to get plus 400 points. It's 10th Bombers Forever versus Maltese Falcons, who are 4th. Maltese Falcons are on track for a big score. I mean, the pre-match projections there were 372.4, and Bombers Forever had no one to play. They had McGrath as a loophole, and he could possibly go in as a halfback, 65 points as a halfback, or 94 as a utility. So maybe Andrew needs to have a look at that before tomorrow night's games. Although he's still got a bit of time for those ones because he's got those no-ones in positions. And Falcons had Dacos as the loophole, and he looks like he is going to slot into the follower position where he got 47 as a follower because Jaimis is missing. For Fenwick, Tom Green, 37 disposals tonight. He would have been good in most positions. He's got him as utility, 99. Kieran Briggs is a ruck, 35, so that's 42% up and 10% up, which is fantastic. And Stephen May had a great game. He was just intercepted everything yesterday. What do you get? How many intercept possessions? I can't even see it. Who cares? Oh, yeah. 6. I thought he had more than that. I think Harris Andrews got 12 tonight or something like that. Why couldn't you get a score of 63, Harris? Anyway, Stephen May, 63, up 25%. So on track, 379, but with Dacos as 47, he's going to be on track for plus 40 there. And who we got? Mackay and Chad Warren. Chad Warren against the Hawks at the MCG. Warner normally plays well at the MCG. And we've got Walker and Horn-Francis. Liberate as utility, but he might put in McGrath. Or actually, I reckon he should put McGrath as halfback personally. 65 points as a halfback. Should really probably take that. Then you got Butters, English, and Sheasel. Whereas over here, you got Took Miller left to play. And Paddy Cripps as well as tackler. Other options tonight, well, Thomas Dow would have been a good tackler yesterday. He got 42 points as a tackler. And nothing else really to write home about. We're over here, had a tackler of Crisp, would have got 40 as a tackler to replace Cripps. But no, he didn't play him, so that's that one there. And then finally, let's look at the last game. It's Renegades, the highest scoring team in the competition. We've all been told a number of times. Versus Seek and Destroy. However, it's 3rd versus 8th. But 8th looks like they might get the win here because their pre-match projection was 392.4 versus 361. And after the 3 games played, it is 427.8 to 348. Cole Langford, 56 as a full forward today, up 84% on his usual score. Then he had Merritt, who got 98 as utility, up 7%. Martin was 2% down, but still 57 is pretty good. And Dunkley, 43 as a tackler, who was up. So it looks like the loophole there was Cole Langford, I believe. Oliver didn't have a good game yesterday, and Parrish was up 28%, 53 points. Whereas Cameron was down as a ruck, and Danaher was down as a half forward. So their projections now 348 to 427. So this is going to be an absolute smashing. Second story look like they're going to Get the loss there. Other options, Brayshaw in utility, Rankin as a half forward. Hewitt, Flanders, and Steele. We're over here. We've got Darcy, who second game back should be pretty good, you would think. LDU and Blakey as a half back. Options that they've played already. Not too many. Maybe Peter Wright as a full forward or half forward there. We're over here. Myercheck 45 and 44, full forward and half forward combo there. Definitely could have got a run as a half forward and taken out Rankin, but didn't get played. Even Kelly as a half forward got 45, and he had a pretty good game too. 93.5 was utility even. So that's that one there. So 254 already for Steph and still got half his team to play. So he's on track for a massive core. Just real quickly, if we just have a quick look at the ladder here, or the games to play tomorrow night's Port Adelaide versus St Kilda. Weather looks fine. It's in Adelaide. In Hobart, it's North versus Adelaide. Weather looks fine. Geelong and Carlton at the MCG. Weather's good for Melbourne for the weekend, so that includes the Hawks game. Over at Perth, over in Perth and in the Gold Coast, 23, 24 degrees for those games. However, there could be rain at the end of the game for that Gold Coast game, but I doubt that's going to happen. So, other than that, everyone, that's this week's review. It's a quick one because little Mike was upstairs crying, and I'm going to get a phone call soon to say come up and help. So I better get this done quickly. Either way, good luck to everyone for the rest of the round. Only 5 games to go. Hopefully my players turn it around a bit. But besides that, yeah, everyone have a fantastic weekend and good luck. See yous.